to talk about why weight loss can stall on a plant-based diet and how to kickstart it again. So imagine this, okay? You swapped out your burgers for black bean bowls, you traded dairy for almond milk, and you loaded your plate with beautiful colors of fruits and vegetables, right? So you're probably feeling healthier, you're more energized, and ready to see those pounds drop. But as the weeks go by, maybe the scale doesn't budge, or worse, it inches upward. So if this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and many people turn to plant-based eating expecting effortless weight loss, only to hit an unexpected plateau. But the good news is some common pitfalls might be tripping you up, and with a few tweaks, you could absolutely reignite your weight loss journey. So hi, my name is Dr. Lori Marvis. I'm a board-certified family and lifestyle medicine physician who's been on my own plant-based journey for 13 years. I am licensed in all 50 states, and I have seen plant-based patients from every single state in the nation. And so I can tell you, after speaking and taking care of thousands of patients, I've gotten really good at tweaking things when people get a little bit hooked up or like this plant-based diet was going great until. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is the weight loss plateau. So let's talk about it. So first of all, why weight loss actually can stall on a plant-based diet. I'm going to give you 4 reasons, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what to do with 7 reasons to get it kickstarted again. First of all is calorie-dense plant foods, right? So while plant foods are often nutrient-rich, many staples like nuts, seeds, avocados, and some people still incorporate oils are very calorically dense. So, for example, 1 tablespoon of oil, it's liquid fat, it's 120 calories. So that is amazing. And a handful of walnuts clocks around 200 calories or more. So without careful portioning, these calories can absolutely add up quickly. I mean, for example, when I was a kid, we used to get the whole walnut, the whole pecan for Christmas, and it would take us a lot of work just to get to that shelled, meaty stuff, right? And that was about what we should get, about an ounce, right? So that is really interesting how now we've removed that natural barrier to these very calorically dense foods, and we just shovel them in, just like chips. Like, oh, nuts are healthy, but they are wonderfully healthy, but they can be very, very quick to add calories to your daily caloric intake. Number 2 is overeating quote unquote healthy snacks, right? So plant-based snacks like energy bars, trail mixes, or nut-based dips may seem harmless, but they can easily contribute to hundreds of hidden calories. Number 3 is portion size pitfalls, right? So many assume plant-based meals are automatically lower in calories, which many are, but sometimes you can oversize portions. So let's say grain-heavy bowls or creamy vegan sauces, while delicious, they absolutely can be calorie traps, especially for women and women in this midlife, such as myself, because I'm 54. I totally get that. I can't eat the way I did even 10, 15 years ago. Number 4 is reliance on processed vegan foods. So vegan alternatives like the faux meats, the cheeses, or desserts often contain added sugars, oils, and salt, which can sabotage your weight loss efforts and hinder any reversal or improvement of your chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol, things like that. So now with all of that being said, what do we do? How do we kickstart your weight loss journey again? Well, we're going to talk about the next 7 steps you can do. Very easy too. Number 1 is keep your portions in check, right? So how is measure calorie dense foods like nuts, seeds. And if you choose to do oils, I would recommend actually avoiding oils just because they're so calorically dense. Most people that I see are trying to lose weight or having some other health issues. Oils are not going to add any benefit outside of the whole food. So one thing you can do is use smaller bowls and plates to naturally reduce your serving size. Why? So even small reductions in portion size can lead to meaningful calorie savings over time. You can also do maybe a 1/4 cup or just an ounce of your nuts and seeds daily. Nuts and seeds are very important. You'll hear me preach that we should be consuming those, but again, with very intentional and mindful amounts. Number 2 is pile on those low calorie, higher volume foods. First of all, how would you do this? So fill your plate with, you can do with non-starchy vegetables like dark green leafies, greens, and then broccoli, bell peppers, cauliflower, things like that. Those foods are low in calories and high in fiber, making them both filling and weight loss friendly. Remember, high volume, low calorie foods keep hunger at bay without overloading your calories. Plus, with those higher fibers, they keep the carbohydrate absorption or slow it down, right? So your stomach is emptying at a slower rate, so you don't get that bump up in your glucose in your blood and all the things that will follow that. So that is another trick, is eating these low calorie, high volume foods. So let's say that you love grain bowls and you're like, man, but I don't want to give up my grain bowls. So instead, maybe cut the grain in half and add another cup of the dark green leafies at the bottom of the bowl and mix it up. You can also think about, you could saute some greens into your veggies as well. So really, really helpful to add greens to everything that you possibly can. And I would do a variety of greens. I wouldn't just stick to something like spinach alone, but do the baby kale, maybe some mixed greens, variety of greens to choose from, all with different flavors. Like arugula is a little bit more spicy. Lots of different things you can consider. And number 3, if you do this for a couple of things, but what I'm about to tell you, most people are like, but I've heard you didn't have to do this on the plant-based diet. This is because if you're on a weight loss stall, right, the plateau, you've kind of gotten stuck. This is important because if you need the data. So I'm going to tell you, track what you eat. So how would you do this? You could use a food diary or an app to log your foods just for 1 week. And I mean everything. Everything goes in your mouth. Drinking your calories, how much, weigh it out or measure it out and figure out the calories so you can understand exactly what you're consuming. You will include, maybe write down how many portions you ate of it, how many calories, but you really want to be honest and very detailed, because if you're not honest or detailed, the data is not going to help you. But tracking can really uncover those hidden calorie sources and reveal patterns, really helping you make informed adjustments. So really paying attention to everything that goes in the mouth. And drinking calories is another tricky one, so watch that. Number 4 is cut back on those processed foods. So focus on the whole, minimally processed foods like fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains, but limit the vegan processed foods like the cheese, the ice cream, the plant-based faux meats. And why? Because remember, the processed foods are often very calorically dense, nutrient poor, and making them less satisfying. So you're getting all these calories and you're not getting the nutrition that you want because you went to a plant-based diet. So try to get those, and it's going to be easier on your wallet. It will absolutely be cheaper. Number 5 is boost your protein intake. So incorporate more protein-rich foods such as lentils, tofu, tempeh, and chickpeas into your meals, and then pair them with vegetables for more of a balanced plate. Why? Because protein helps you feel fuller, longer, and supports muscle retention during weight loss. So we want to up our protein intake to about 1 to 1.4, 1.6 grams per kilogram. And if you can do that, what you want to do is look for your ideal weight. So let's say that someone is got 100 pounds to lose. I don't want them actually calculating their protein needs based on their current weight. What we would want to do is find an ideal weight. An ideal body weight we could shoot for around a BMI of 22, maybe a little bit less, but ideally let's start with 22. And I'm just giving you what I've found with my patients. The reason I would say that is because it seems to be, overseeing thousands of patients, when we start getting closer to that BMI of 22 or under, is hypertension improves, cholesterol improves, blood sugars improve more rapidly. So there's some things that are happening in that context. Again, there'll be differences according to male or female, muscle mass, all those things, but that's at least a general thing to at least get started with. How many calories you need to be consuming a day, and based on that, based on your BMI, what that would be for you, based on your height, gender, and age. If that BMI, let's say, is a weight of 150, that would be about, and you divide that by 2.2 to get your kilograms, and that would be, I think, around 75 grams. 75 kilograms, multiply that times 1 gram per kilogram, that would be 75. Then you can also multiply that, let's say, out to 1.4, 1.6. Then you'll have where you should be, somewhere in there. You don't need more than that, especially getting started. And when you're looking to lose weight, you will just want to decrease your caloric intake by about 200 calories outside once you calculate your total daily energy expenditure. So let's say that someone needs 2,000 calories to maintain their current weight. They're looking to lose 20 pounds. And so what you'd want to do is 1,800 calories, calculate your protein. So focus on your calories, focus on your protein, and you're good to go. That would be my starting suggestion. Next is number 6 is adjust your meal timing. So how? Experiment with strategies like intermittent fasting or setting cutoff times for eating in the evening. Most people are struggling with their evening meals. Plus, when we eat later in the day, we're more insulin resistant. And 2, it disrupts our sleep, which also causes more weight gain and a host of other issues, which sets you up to be more fatigued and making poor decisions the next day. So minimally 3 hours between the time you go to bed and your last meal is where I would shoot for. And how you choose to do intermittent fasting, should you choose to, is fine. But understand the reason that it works is because typically when people give themselves only a window of opportunity of eating in a certain window, what you'll find here is they actually reduce their calories. And so that is why it's working. You're reducing your calories. So keep that in mind. And number 7 is really move your body more. But I would say definitely try to hit that 10,000 calories, but not because we're, using up calories, but I'd say moving your body, one, makes you feel better. You're going to be, you will have a better metabolism. Your insulin sensitivity will improve. So there's going to be some hormonal things improving there. Your mood will improve. When you're better mood, you sleep better and you make better food choices. But I would say definitely focus also on resistance training. When you do some type of resistance training, minimally 3 to 4 times per week, where you're progressive overload each week, you're adding a little more reps, more sets, or more weights. And you're using big compounding muscle movements, what you're going to find is that you're building your metabolic muscle or your metabolic furnace, right? So muscle is your metabolic furnace. Plus, if you're focusing on the protein, you're going to be supporting that muscle mass growth. And so that's the important piece here, is that we're doing the exercises that maintain or grow your muscle, and you're eating at a slightly caloric deficit to try to get that fat loss started and the weight moving. So that is the big fix there. Let me just go over those again real quick. Keep your portions in check. Pile on low-calorie, high-volume foods. Track what you eat for a week. Cut back on processed foods. Boost your protein intake. Adjust your meal timing and move your body with a focus on that resistance training. So remember, weight loss plateaus can be absolutely frustrating, but they're absolutely fixable too. So if your plant-based diet isn't delivering the results you hope for and you're really struggling with how to fine-tune even after listening to this, you might want to check out the Healing Kitchen. It's something that I run with Brittany Giroudi, who lost 70 pounds herself over 8 years ago and has kept it off, although she did just have a baby this year. So she's a new mama, plant-based pregnancy and a healthy baby. And we meet every single week live for an hour. We also do monthly workshops based on an in-depth topic, like let's say cholesterol. You'll also get an ebook. If you're not familiar with my cholesterol lowering protocol, you might want to Google or look in the YouTube search for that. We have had folks utilize the cholesterol lowering protocol, which I've developed about 4 or 5 years ago, based on the science and working with patients. And now people are commenting on YouTube, on Facebook, Dr. Marvis, my LDL dropped 50%. My total cholesterol dropped 25%. This is the kind of stuff that you're going to get in the Healing Kitchen. And the link is below in the description. We will be increasing our prices next year. We're also going to be looking for it. It'll be pre-launch soon. We'll be publishing our first book, which is Plant-Based 101, which is really exciting. Really helps you understand how to start and maintain and really succeed at a plant-based diet, and really highlighting some of the problems that you might run into. You've already drunk the Kool-Aid, so to speak, of wanting to start a plant-based diet, which is a phenomenal way to move into health. But sometimes you might run into some additional problems. And that's what all these videos over the last 5 days or so I've been doing, is the tweaking, right? So you start something new and sometimes problems will pop up. And that's what we're trying to do, because if anybody has the experience of how to help you, it would be between myself and Brittany. But Brittany does 2 recipes during that hour, and I answer medical questions. We also just launched our community, so literally you can talk to one another. It's a safe place. You feel welcome. You don't have to explain to anybody why you've chosen a plant-based diet. There's no judgment. Again, it's a matter of just a space of love and helping you heal and just enjoy yourself while you're there. So we'd love to have you. So check it out. And again, like I said, the price will be increasing next month because we work really hard to provide those resources, and all the recordings are available. All the recipes are available. We've been doing this for well over, a year and a half now. And so it has been a blast. So definitely check it out. You will not find a community like this anywhere else on earth. And so we're so happy to have you to join us if you choose to. So as always, I'm sending my gratitude, joy, love, and healing to you. And if there's anything else I can do for you, please comment below. Would love to learn if there's any problems that you've run into that you're struggling to find answers to while on a plant-based diet, or if you're just starting a plant-based diet. Where are your pain points? I want to be able to help you with that. So thanks everyone for always listening, and have a blessed rest of your day. And I'll be back tomorrow.